Welcome to another out of the box playthrough. Today we are still playing X-Men Marvel United. Today I thought I'd try one of the different villains. In this case I'm going to be playing Sabretooth. Sabretooth has a villainous plot that requires him to KO and hunt down heroes, and so a first hero gets a target token. If they get KO'd, it gets passed along to the next hero. If it gets passed back to the original hero, so all three have been KO'd at some point, that is game over. So that doesn't work very well with Xavier mode, so I'm going to be playing this 3 heroes single-handed, and we'll see how that goes. A couple of interesting things about Sabretooth is that there are only 2 types of threats on the locations. No place to hide. There's damage to the hunted heroes, so you want to keep away from there, and Killing Spree, which discards all civilians from that location and deals damage to one hero at both locations, and they all require heroic actions. The other thing that's interesting about the 3 heroes that I'm playing today, I'm going to be playing Wolverine, Storm, and the hero version of Mystique, is that both Wolverine and Mystique have starting cards. So they starting hand, so Wolverine has 1 and Mystique has 2 cards that automatically come into their initial draw of 3 cards. And without further ado, I'll talk about those when we hit those for the first time. But let's start, and we always start with a villain card. So Sabretooth. Hunter senses, move to the location with the hunted hero. Okay. Then he does his bam. Bam. He does 2 damage to 1 hero in Sabretooth's location. This must be the hunted hero. So instantly Wolverine loses 2 cards. Ouch. Then he triggers where he is, which is discard all civilians, which there aren't any, deal 1 damage to 1 hero in both adjacent locations, which is fine. And then we had some civilians. I wonder where they were going to come from. It's quite different from the last one with Magneto, because there was a distinct lack of civilians. So this one's obviously, he spawns civilians, which he then goes off and damages, and that's quite a lot because both those locations are full. Right, hero time. So Wolverine has only got his 1 card, so he'll draw a card, and he's got his starting card, which is Healing Factor. As long as this card is in the storyline, and you have less than 3 cards in your hand, at the end of the villain turn you may draw 1 card, which is really handy. And we will pay that straight away because we want to get that there, and we will do 1 heroic action. Now we'll do Storm, draw a card, movement, and lots of movement. She can relocate heroes. That's a good one. She can do 2 punching at any location. I think I'll do that actually. So we will do heroic action there from the Wolverine card. She'll then move and then do 2 on these thugs. And that is Storm. So Mystique has 2 starting cards which are the same, well they're similar. One's a heroic action and one's a punch, but it's Metamorph as a special ability, so on the next villain turn you may redirect any damage to you to a henchman or a thug at your location. No henchmen's on this board, so that's not going to help, but that could be handy otherwise. So we've got a movement here. I'm going to use my double because that'll be handy later on. So we'll use heroic action on here, and we will do move to here, and then we'll rescue a civilian, because we're going to get overloaded with civilians if we're not careful. That one is then complete. And it's 3 hero actions, so it must be time for Sabretooth. Hunter senses. Move to the location with the hunted hero. Done. He then does a BAM, which he does 2 damage to the hero, so Wolverine is KO'd. And we move, this is here. When the hunted hero is KO, before activating the BAM, move the hunted token to the next hero in play order. And because he was KO'd, we have to do another BAM, which does 2 damage to 1 hero at Sabretooth's location, which was fortunately we moved Storm away, because she's being hunted next. Okay, we activate, there's no threat to activate, so then we place, in this case we're placing 4 villains, not 4 villains, 4 thugs. So we're going to have 2 there, and that's going to cause an overflow, and we're going to put 2 there, and that's going to cause an overflow. Overflow, if 1 or more can't be added to the location, deal 1 damage to the hunted hero. So that means they don't get placed, but that means Storm's going to take 2 damage. Okay, I think this is going to be a very fast game. That's the end of Wolverine, Sabretooth. Wolverine is up, and he draws, I do believe, 4 cards. So he has 4 cards. 4. He's got a double. We really have to clear off some of these civilians. Okay, so we're going to do that one. And he's going to move, use his move, and it is heroic action to tag that, and then he'll do 2 heroic actions to save 2 civilians, which makes that one a bit safer. Storm. She'll do that one. She will why don't she do heroic action and then move twice, because she can, and then she can do 2 punches at any location, so we'll clear those 2 off. That's really handy, that is, to be able to attack thugs anywhere. It's going to be fantastic. Well, it would be fantastic for taking out the villain, Mystique. See what you can do. So she's got to move and punch in. No thugs there, but she's a thug there, so I think we need to clear these off. So we'll move here. Oh, it wasn't here. And then we'll punch out in. Okay. Sabretooth. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. I was making sure I wasn't in no place to hide. You don't want your hunted hero there because they'll take damage. Wolverine's now got Hunter senses. Move to the location with the hunted hero. Okay, and then he does his BAM. And his BAM is it does 2 damage to 1 hero. So that is Storm KO'd. Mystique gets hunted. And because of the KO effect, he does a bam again, but no one's there, so that's lucky. He then activates where he is, discard all the civilians at this location, deal 1 damage to one hero in both adjacent locations. So they're both going to take a damage. So Wolverine is going to throw out that one, and Mystique is going to throw out one of the metamorphoses because they aren't turning out to be particularly useful, and it'll come around again potentially. Okay, and then he does his placement, which is 4 civilians. So he's going to put 2 civilians here. And 2 civilians here. And that is Sabretooth. Done again. Wolverine. Oh, actually, end of the villain phase. Healing factor. If you have less than 3 cards, he has 2 cards, so he'll draw a card for his healing factor. Now it's his turn, he'll draw another card, which is handy. And what can he do? He's got a wild card. There's no one there to fight, and he's only got fights or wild card moves, so I might as well, it's a waste, but it's a shame. But he will do 1 on the and 1 on the civilian. Now why don't we do both on here? Because we're going to have to pick up the civilian anyway. That means that one finishes. So that's great. That's another one of those. Then another hero at this or an adjacent location. They draw a card. Okay, fine. So that was handy. That's Wolverine done. And we draw 4 cards. It says draw 4 cards. So we will un-KO. We'll draw 4 cards. 2, 3. I've got a wild card. Oh, double wild card. Well, the chances are he's going to move. So I might as well just stay here and do 3 onto there, which will free that one. Which gets me another throat finished. End of your turn, you can move to any other location. Wonder how that's going to help. Wolverine's got that under control, hopefully. Safety in numbers. Safety in numbers. Okay. Well, yeah. Things to do there anyway. And now it's Mystique's go. Who was hunted, and if she gets KO'd, it's all over. So no pressure. And we've got a double wild card. Ooh. See, this would be really handy. We should redirect damage to a henchman or any thug. There are no thugs. So so she's got nowhere to redirect it. I think this is going to be game over, but we'll give it a go. Let's use all three on here, which resolves that. And we'll resolve this, which gets rid of that. They tick along. You may discard one card from your hand at the bottom of your deck to swap a card from your hand with one of your face-up cards in the storyline. Yeah, it's not going to help, so I'm not going to bother. Okay. Let's hopefully Cover does have bad draws, because otherwise. Hunter Senses. Move to the location of the hunted hero. Bam. Deal 2 damage. KO. Move. Give the hunter token to the next hero, and the heroes lose if the hunted token is given back to the starting hero. Here we go. We just lost. Yes. Well, let's have a look and see if there's any. Are these all. Okay, so there's another Hunter Senses. It is. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6. So I got 4 in a row. So that was incredibly unlucky draw. But as it was, Sabretooth did his thing. So there were some other ones in there that would have given me a bit round, and I was getting there. Not many thugs left, but I think we would have got civilians. He was going to put 2 more thugs in. Anyway, that is a playthrough of the new Sabretooth villain. Very effective he was too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, next time I do, I'm probably going to have a go at Juggernaut.